Hello and welcome to episode 84 of Dunk's Movie Corner, Dunk's Movie Corner Pod or Podcast, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is. That's who I am. If you're thinking, gosh, Dunk, this is like a day and a half late, you are absolutely correct. I completely forgot about this. Life got busy. I was literally recording the Boomy Bros, which is a companion podcast that this is to, where it's an actual conversation between my brother Hayden and I about one specific movie that we watch, talk about, kind of discuss, and kind of banter about. Um, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even record the other one, so I should probably do that. So, either way, if you're new, quick little recap of what I watch in a week: TV, limited series, movies, whatever. Again, if you're looking for more substantial listening, check out the Movie Bros. Both podcasts are available on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. If you want to reach out, there's DMs, there's comment sections for a reason. For this week, last week I only watched, or the prior week, whatever you want to call it, I only watched a couple things. I watched Tokyo Drift and I finished up the last season of Andor. This week, a few more things, but not honestly that much. It's just been it's been like one of those couple weeks of just life happening. Either way, I watched Casino Royale, I rewatched. Technically, I've seen it a couple times before. It's very good. The first Daniel Craig Bond. If you've never seen it, it is from start to finish fantastic. I think it's a great place to start for Bond if you've never seen any of them. Granted, if you watch the Daniel Craig Bonds, the newer ones, and then you try to go back and watch the other ones, there are drastically different interpretations of what Bond should be as a entity, as a person. Mad Mikkelsen as the villain in this is fantastic. Even Jeffrey Wright, supporting character. Eva Green as kind of the love interest is really good. Good music. The action sequences are great. A 5 out of 5, 2008. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Netflix. I'm sure it's also on MGM's whatever streaming service that they have, MGM Plus. I think Netflix is just renting the rights to it right now, but rewatch that. I rewatched because I felt like I wanted to watch something kind of dumb fun. Jumper. This is from 2008. So Casino Royale 2006, Jumper 2008. Jumper is kind of the first major thing that Hayden Christensen, who you might recognize as Anakin from Star Wars, did after he was Anakin from Star Wars, about teleporting. And him and Samuel Jackson, Jamie Bell are kind of the main people. The love interest is Rachel Bilson, who she's done a few things, but not. She didn't really stand out for me. And the main reason you watch this movie, like it's fun. Like there's teleporting stuff. It's cool. The dialogue and the writing is kind of rough, I'll admit. And Hayden Christensen, it's kind of hard to see him not as whiny Anakin, because in this he's still kind of playing timid, whiny guy, sort of. Yeah, saw that. That's on Tubi if you want to check that out. I rewatched because at some point I watched this for the first time and thought it was shit. And well, we decided to watch it for the Movie Bros because we kind of knew it was shit. We wanted to talk kind of about a shit movie. But Cars 2 from 2011. We just recorded this evening that episode, which will be edited and posted by Sunday. So if you want an actual conversation about that, I'd say check out this coming Sunday from the Movie Bros for Cars 2. Either way, it's still shit. It can't decide if it's a fun, like, take the ensemble cast from the first movie and put them all over the world racing movie, or is it a sort of James Bond-esque spy movie set in the Cars universe? They can't decide one or the other. Lightning McQueen is not even in this that much. It is a Mater movie, which I don't think anyone at the time or still now really wants, except if you're a little kid, maybe. Just Hayden and I talked at length about this, but yeah, not great. And then because I just rewatched Casino Royale, the follow-up, even the producers and the actors and afterwards have said like, hey, we rushed trying to make the second one because the first one was so popular. The story was really not there like the first one. This is Quantum of Solace. This came out 2008. It's funny. It's a spy movie also kind of about oil, which is what Cars 2 is, which it's just a weird that they're also about the same things. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's serviceable. I think it's clearly a step down from the first one. I'm kind of planning on rewatching a lot of the Bonds going forward. The next one is Skyfall, which I haven't rewatched yet. It is really good. I think that's Casino Royale. After rewatching it, they might be tied, but Skyfall is excellent. I'll probably be watching that in the next couple days. Other than that, the occasional Bob's Burger episode while I'm doing something around the house. I watched about half of Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie today while I was doing laundry. That's just a fun movie. If you've never seen it, I think even that might even be on the docket for Hayden and I because it's just a dumb, fun movie. So maybe we'll talk about that at some point. But if you haven't, that's also on Netflix. It's a lot of fun. For what it is, I think it's a lot of fun. And not a ton of like actual notes for it, besides it kind of being very dated that it came out when it did. Either way, that's kind of all I've watched. What else is happening? Because usually the end of this podcast, folks, I ramble for a few minutes about movies, and then I realize, oh, I've only rambled for like, or ranted or rambled, however you want to word it, for like 5 or 6 minutes. And then I'm like, well, I should probably fill up a couple more minutes. Otherwise, this is what's the point of you? Like listening to this something for 5 minutes feels like not even worth your time. I feel like I don't know. You want something short and sweet, but not so short that like we're gonna bang this out in less than like 10 minutes. I don't know. Either way, usually I end this with just like a life update about my week in general. So, long story long, decided or realized that my rate at my current apartment space was like a introductory rate that after if I go to re-sign, as I've now been here 1 year, the rates were going to change, and for the same amount of amenities for a significant amount of money, I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that. Asked if I could get a 6-month lease, that way I had time to like figure some shit out with life. They did not, or the property management said no. So I said, okay, I gave my 30 days notice to vacate. Because technically, I have got to be out of here April 1st. So I had to tell them one way or another by the end of, or the beginning of March, excuse me, one way or another. And so the last, I don't know, about week and change has been like nonstop tours of a bunch of different apartments around the area, trying to figure out kind of what's going to work best for space and price and neighborhood and commute. Yeah, it's just I'm trying to be positive because I'm like, okay, new possibility for all those things to go towards the positive side. In some ways, it's kind of a bummer because there was a point where I was really both looking forward to and planning on looking for something with a partner, which that's that's life. I guess you just gotta keep moving. But as of literally, I don't know, a couple hours ago, sent in an app for a spot that looks pretty promising. I'll save a couple $100 a month, which would be great. It's more space. It's not upstairs, so moving is going to be really straightforward. And it's like 7 minutes from where I already live, so it's really close. The spot I live in Seattle is very safe, very walkable. It's right down the street from the beach. That might be the reason why things are costing what they cost. But so the new spot, if that's going to be the way that it's going to work out, is just slightly more inland. But the trade-off is it's also like within spitting distance of the off-leash dog park that I really like taking my dog to. So maybe that's going to just be a win anyway. Yeah, so that's kind of working out. I'm slowly packing up the apartment, lots of boxes, took everything off the walls, planning on probably moving here in the next week or so. So we'll see what kind of movies get watched if I'm going to be doing that kind of stuff. It's also finals week for the quarter. So that's been lots of fun, taking care of the bigger chunks of assignments that are due. I'm also been throwing a shit ton of pottery, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm getting the hang of it. It really is just I need to do it more consistently. And since I put the pottery wheel in the apartment like 2.5 weeks ago and trying to use it like every day, I'm either trimming or I'm throwing, whatever it is gotten better. I'm not flopping a lot of pieces. Like I think out of like 20 times, I think I've flopped maybe 4. So, I mean, overall, if you look at my track record, I've gotten a lot better. I've realized use less clay, don't try for perfection. Sometimes there's inconsistencies and that's okay. I've noticed that when I try to like make this the biggest, most perfect pot, that's when I get into trouble. But I'm making, all kinds of stuff. So it's been actually a lot of fun to do that. On the scuba side, a couple dives here and there. It's really hard to explain to someone who doesn't dive. And again, I would like to talk to someone about this, maybe in a podcast form at some point, what diving does for you if you've just been like in your head or just in a shit mood. Like, I know some people go to the gym or go for runs, but diving is like, there's a quote that is from, I think it's technically from Excalibur or one of the tales of King Arthur, where it says, drink from the chalice and be reborn. That's so very clearly how I feel about, like, every time I get in the water, I just like, oh, just I am myself. Like, this is my element. I'm in such a better mood. And beyond that, I have started using my underwater film camera because I also like film photography on land. I've kind of figured that out, how to at least take shots that are, exposed correctly, in focus. And I was like, oh, let me try my hand underwater. So I've done 2 dives, kind of futzing about with that. And like, yes, I accept that there is going to be a learning curve of things are not going to be in focus or lit well to start. You're figuring it out, and that's okay. And that has happened. That being said, like, there have been a couple shots I'm like, oh, like, they're not all shit, which is kind of a good thing to see. So I'm kind of happy with, like, oh, this is like baseline. This is where I'm starting. I'm okay with that. And it's been nice to get in the water, just in general. Again, I mean, it's weird. There's been the hobby side of life has been like bang on. It's been actually been really great right now. I went off to the beach and shot a roll of film. It's at golden hour the other night, which was really nice. Just me. Didn't bring the dog. Didn't bring anyone. Didn't even bring headphones. Like, I was just enjoying. Like, obviously I bundled up because it's cold as fuck. But yeah. Either way, then like normal actual life things, like work is super slow, so I'm not making a bunch of money. I got in a little bumper with a like one of those white commercial HVAC vans, like no like exterior damage. That's great. Get my car home, and the radiator for the engine and the radiator, there's 2 radiators, and the second radiator is for your AC. Both had like a puncture in it, so I had to like nurse my car over to our car shop that we like going to, like we trust the guy at, and that was like $2,300 that I wasn't planning on spending this last week. But what are you gonna do? At least I had the $2,300 to spend. I guess at least it wasn't like, oh, I have to put this on a credit card or anything like that. So it's nice that like I have the buffer, because most of that came from the tax return that I literally just got back. Even though the tax return I was kind of planning on using towards the new apartment or a trip or dive gear, but that's life. Stumbling forward always. What else? Freddy's been a good boy. That's my dog. If you're listening to this and you don't know who that is, he did somehow, I don't know how, snuck out the other day, so I had to go hunt him down and find him. Took me like an hour and 45 minutes just walking around, driving around the neighborhood until I found him in a bush somewhere. So that was fun and stressful. And yeah, that's kind of all that's happening. I've got a new book from the library I want to start reading tonight. I'm listening to, and I've read through, so I listened to part of this book prior, but I didn't get all the way through. But Atomic Habits, I think his name is Alex Clear. It's really interesting. It's about habit forming, the science behind it. And so I'm reading and taking notes on that. And yeah, that's kind of it. Hopefully you're okay with almost half of this podcast, that is Dunk's Movie Corner, not actually being about movies. Who knows? Maybe I might cut all that shit out and have it just be the 6 or 7 minutes of just the 4 or 5 movies or whatever that I watched. Either way, sorry it's late. Hang in there till next week, and I will too.